listening to tonight's show. You can connect with Take Two Radio on Twitter at Take Two Radio and at Dawn Take Two Radio. You can also look us up on Facebook at Take Two Radio. Check out our website at TakeTwoRadio.com and follow us on Blog Talk so you can stay up to the minute of each episode as we add it. Each episode is always available for download immediately following each broadcast, and you can also download every podcast on iTunes. Thank you for joining us.
Well, hello and welcome to Take Two Radio, and I am Dawn, the co-host, and I'm here with our wonderful host, Pam. Hello, Pam.
Hello. She did it. Well, she did it again. She took the phone away from me. She's running the show.
Well, you know, sometimes it's necessary, but no, seriously, we kind of reversed roles a little bit tonight in the last couple of shows because Pam has really been ailing. And how are you feeling today, Pam?
Well, I know I sound better, but, you know, you get really weak from this, this old flu thing, whatever's going on, plus people at home being sick, and I was up all night with my son, so that's one of those things. I
can tell you do sound better than you did a couple of days ago when I talked to you, and I'm thankful that it seems like you're making a turn in the right direction at least if the sound of your voice is any indication comparatively. So glad that you're on the mend, hopefully. And but the other reason why we reverse roles tonight is to give you a break, of course, and not have to talk as much. But we have the show of shows tonight, and this is a show that I have been stoked about ever since we got it all set up and lined up because for all the Guiding Light fans out there, we have Robert-Newman and Kim-Zimmer with us tonight. And I want to bring on Robert. Hello, Robert. How are you?
Hi. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so very excited about you guys being here tonight. It is such a treat and an honor, no doubt, being a longtime fan of Guiding Light. So thank you for agreeing to come back on the show. We so enjoyed having you on before, talking with you and catching up about GL and what you've been up to since. So thank you so very much.
I had a good time, and it's good to be back again. Do we have Kim yet?
We do not have Kim yet. And I want to think as the show was opening that she is going to make her entrance in typical Reva Shane style.
So she's going to be late?
Well, not to be late, but just to make that grand entrance, you know, when everyone else is alive, you know, like she did so many times on Guiding Light. So, you know, that is definitely staying apart. But anyway, in the meantime, we're waiting for her to call in. How are you and how have things been going?
I was just saying to your co-host there, who sounds under the weather, that I had a couple of weeks under the weather too. I was pretty down, flat for a while. This whatever this thing is, bug, flu, whatever the heck is going on, it knocks you down, man. And I didn't have like a temperature, a fever or anything like that, but I was definitely flat on my back for about a week.
Well, I felt like I had 110 temperature, but yet I was freezing to death for 2 days. It was horrible.
And then the bad news for you is that it lingers.
Yeah.
It really lingers.
I think this is like the 5th day, and I'm like, okay, this is enough already. But especially when you got kids to take care of that have the same thing, you know?
I was saying that after about the 10th and the 15th days, so good luck with that.
Oh, don't tell me
that.
Sorry for the bad news.
Oh, no.
What a way to bring me up, yay.
Otherwise, I'm fine. As you know, I was out in L.A. for quite a while. I was shooting a low-budget film out there, a science fiction film, and now I'm back home. I got back home right after the New Year, and it's so good to be home. And I'm getting ready to head back out to L.A. in a couple of weeks to shoot a bit on Crystal Chappelle's web series, Venice, I'm looking forward to it. She sent out the scripts about a week ago, and they're good. They're really good. And I'll be working a bit with one-on-one with Jordan Clark, who
awesome.
Which is awesome. Yeah, it's great. And of course, working directly with Crystal, and you know, I went back and sort of caught up on that series, and it's really something to watch. It really is. To think that for Crystal, this was just something, sort of her brainchild that happened a few years ago after Guiding Light went off the air, and now they're getting ready to shoot their 4th season of it.
Yeah.
And it's a working model. There's money coming in. There's people get paid. There's there's enough to produce the show. That she's got a thing going on there, and I believe she just started another show, right? The Grove. I haven't had a chance to look at yet, but
you got to watch it.
I'm really, really proud of her, for taking a leap of faith and putting together, everybody's trying to figure out new media and digital media and how it's going to work online. And this is something I'm on the national board of directors for SAG-AFTRA, so on the union, at the union, we're speaking about this all the time. How will things work on the net, on the internet? Because that's where the business is going. And Crystal, to me, is part of those people who are pioneering this kind of thing, and trying to figure it out, and she is figuring it out. It's really great. So I'm looking forward to that.
She can teach Prospect Park some things,
I guess so. I'm still kind of curious to see how all of that works out. We'll see. We'll just see. Yeah. I'm really pleased.
I would have thought they would have called her by now.
They may have.
For
I don't
sure.
know. Yeah, but I'm
I
very
think
pleased about those coming back. Yeah.
I think it's going to be so exciting to see you and Jordan and Crystal all in the same, series. For the GL fans, that's always a great thing when we can see some of our faves from the show on something different and all working together, even though you're playing different characters. So it's great to see that dynamic and that interaction all over again. So really excited for that to come out and to be able to see that.
Well, part of my agreement to do it was I told Crystal that we had to have like a bathtub scene together or something like that. Which doesn't really work with her character, but I said I don't know how you work it out, but we have to have a bathtub scene together. But I have to say I didn't see one in the final script. So
you're not playing like the pool boy or anything where she could bring you into the cabana.
I think my pool boy days are over.
Oh no!
I think when you're my age and you're the pool boy, it's creepy.
Yeah, now that could be. So, well, it sounds like you've had some really exciting things going on, and you've been very busy, no doubt. And so now you're kind of in a little bit of a break, which I'm sure it's like you say, it's always good to get home. It's good to go, but it's good to get back home and just be back to the normal things of life, when you can.
Yeah, I mean, Britt, my wife, and we've adjusted to this thing, to my career being a different thing now, where I'm on the road much more than I ever had been with Guiding Light. That one of the great, great blessings of Guiding Light was just being home a lot, and really being in a job for an actor where you can raise your children. My children are now 20 and 23 years old, but raising them through those early years, for an actor to not be traveling constantly is unusual. And that was one of the great things that I got from Guiding Light. That time now of raising my kids, of course, well, it never really ends, but the younger part of it's ended, I guess.
Right.
And now I'm in this different kind of a career where I'm on the road quite a bit, whether it's 8 weeks in Philly doing Gypsy with Tova Feldsha, or it's out in L.A. for 3 months doing, various things there. And Britt and I just work it out. We just work it out. And if it's a real long period of time, then she'll come and visit me. But we talk on the phone all day long. We text like we're 12-year-olds, constantly texting back and forth from cross country. And this is our lifestyle now. But it's new and it's different, and I'm thankful for it. Good stuff.
Well, I have a question for you. I read Kim's book, and it was phenomenal, by the way. And I'm really excited to talk with her when she calls in about it. But I was curious. Do you think that's something that you would ever do? Do you see that in your future, maybe writing a book?
I don't know. I just read Crystal's book too.
Oh my God, I read that one.
It's pretty great. It really is pretty great, and it reminds me of. I think both of those books, have a real strong sense of what working on a soap really is like. And unlike Tootsie, Soap Dish, any number of films or television programs that have tried to, somehow capture. I find most of what's done about soap operas in film and television is really mocking soap operas. That's what they're really doing. They're making fun of the medium, and I think, in some ways Tootsie had some realistic elements to it, but the premise itself was to me very unrealistic. And Soap Dish kind of captured it, but sort of almost in like a Saturday Night Live skit way. It captured it, And all that to say, I know I haven't answered your question yet.
Yeah.
But I really feel like
he's teasing us.
I'm not sure if I were to write a book right now that it would really add anything to the combination of Kim's book, Crystal's book, and I haven't read other people's books. I think both of them did a really outstanding job of not kind of the good, the bad, and the ugly of working full-time on a soap opera. It's a very, very, very difficult medium to work under. And it causes a lot of joy and a lot of stress at the same time. There are good times, there are bad times, good storylines, bad storylines, just good days, bad days. And they seem to kind of get all those things in their books. And so I don't know that I would add anything to that. I do have in my mind something more along the lines of a screenplay or maybe even a theatrical play that would somehow kind of capture more of what soap opera really is. I think about the film Broadcast News. Do you know that film? I love that film.
Mm-hmm.
It captures, I think, there's many comical things in that film, but I think it also gives a more realistic look of what it's like behind the scenes of the news genre. That film as opposed to like Anchorman with Will Ferrell, who also shows you stuff behind, but it's a comical. I feel like the broadcast news style of a soap opera film or series or whatever has really never been done. And I could see maybe working towards something more like that, and it wouldn't be just only about my own experiences. It would be, probably encompass a lot of things.
Well, I say make it into a musical.
Oh, my gosh. Well, Kim and I, when Kim comes on, we'll give you a preview of Guiding Light the Musical, or Josh and Reva the Musical.
There you go.
But
I can just picture it in my head, after like watching Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat, if they could make a musical out of that, you guys could do this as it.
Yeah, because Joseph's story is so similar to soap opera.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
It's, Bible, yeah, sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right. It's the soap Bible. Come on, get with
it,
Robert.
There you go.
You should know this.
The Bible according to soaps kind of thing.
Right.
Right.
Well, speaking of you and Kim, do you think there's an opportunity that you and her will work together down the road again?
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't think that our time together is done at all. I mean, even when we found ourselves on the same stage doing Curtains, that was a total surprise to both of us. I was working toward. She tells a pretty funny story about that when she was negotiating her contract, and